All right. Houday, Stripes and Coffee in the house. We got Calladay and we got Houdale and AJ Houday going back at it. We got Bills this week, but I think we kind of wanted to get some of our thoughts on this last game against the 49ers. So Calladay had the privilege of showing up at that game, and so just to tell us a little bit about what you saw there and how it was, and the fans and everything. I know we talked a little bit offline just before this, but we'll just put it out there in the freaking universe.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just getting there, like I said. So when I got there, the hotel was literally right down the street, and
Mm-hmm.
so just walking to the stadium, I saw multiple 49ers fans. They not as bad as the Raiders fans, but yeah, they there. And then I seen Bengals fans cheering from the cars, like they seen me walking with the Taylor Britt jersey. They just saw the name was like who they was out there for sure. Just in traffic waiting to get to the game,
Showing nice.
walking. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
was out there for sure. In the same hotel too. But yeah, just getting to the stadium, easy access. And the stadium, like I said, was nice. A very nice stadium. I liked it. And we were sitting in the 100 levels. So I had a pretty good view of
Good
the
view.
game for
And where were you
sure.
sitting at exactly? I'm trying to remember, like you sent a couple of videos. I'm trying to remember where that was situated at. You were kind
So
of
where the
center just a little bit, right?
it's basically where the tunnel was. I was basically above, like right over top of the tunnel.
Okay.
But it's the opposite tunnel where the players came out of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but on the sideline of the Bengals though. Literally
Almost
we could see
gotcha.
the sideline of the Bengals. Yeah. It was right there. Nice seat for sure. And so what I seen from the game wise, like from start to finish, obviously, I think we look good. I didn't see no kind of flaws, no kind of hiccups. Like we really look good, like all phases too, like
Man,
offense, defense, special teams. Like it was just a good day for us, honestly, and we needed that.
hell yeah.
It was good to see it too.
But that's the big thing that I was thinking. And it was the first complete game that I've seen in a long time. And there were a couple mistakes. Like the big one was Irv Smith, and that kind of is like our biggest hole is receiving tight end, unless he can pick it up. Or Tanner Hudson, they got him off the practice squad, and they really liked him. So maybe he can move in and just. We don't need much, man. We just need that Hayden Hurst level reliability when you get to that third, fourth, fifth option. Just somebody, here you go, get me 5 or 10. You know, and just be reliable with the football. Don't put it on the ground or whatever, because that game could have been over right there, to be honest. But
Absolutely.
like you said, there really was not any big. Um, I kind of think the defense gave up more big plays than I'm used to. That's been maybe their weakest point this year, because we hardly ever give up big plays, and we've given up a few. Not that it really led to points, though. We still, between the 20s, we were still stopping them. Turnovers and the whole bit. Really excellent, but yeah, by and large, it was like a great defensive game, great offensive game, special teams, great. And more importantly, Joe Burrow looks back, man. I mean, right, that first
Yeah.
drive of the game, he was like sacked 3 times, basically. And he just Houdini'd out of it and then hit T. Higgins, and took a lick and just put it right where T. Higgins was able to just grab it and extend. And then I'm like, oh man, if this is the type of game we're going to have. So
It didn't want it to be like the Titans game where
yeah,
it seemed promising.
it was like, all right, we went right down there, and we ended up
That's
kicking
true.
3. That's okay, and then we were pooped the whole rest of the way. But
That didn't happen.
no, start to finish. What do you think?
I agree with that. I think this was the first game that Joe Burrow seemed pretty dang mobile. I mean, those other ones he had been showing up, but like really seemed mobile, not just like feeling better. Like he really did seem
Like all in your own number type mobile. Like he checked out
Yeah.
the quarterback draw, design run type stuff.
Yeah,
when he saw there's going to be green grass there, so he checked into it and picked up.
choosing to run.
Yeah.
So he really seemed like himself, the most we'd seen so far.
Pocket presence was there. He was on time. The ball was out when it needed to be out, and the timing was just impeccable, man. He was like 87% completion percentage, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, then I'd say that you were saying the defense, they gave up some more big plays, like big yardage, but it felt like in terms of the red zone defense, which I think that's what we've been pretty good at, that everything kind of stiffened up there in the red zone.
Yep. And to be fair, I did read something where So they got that turnover when Irv Smith put it on the ground. And although he needed to hold on to that, that was a good defensive play. They punched that ball out. So I got to give credit where credit's
Might have
due.
just been a drop or
He had it. They punched it out and kind of made it happen, but he needed to do a better job at securing that. But they put up a bunch of yards right there to like make a push to maybe kick for 3. So that was almost like garbage, tiny yards because it didn't lead to nothing. And then at the end, when it kind of almost literally was garbage time, I know Kittle was, getting the few big plays and, so some of those yardage that they got didn't really, it was in garbage time. It didn't really mean anything. So the numbers aren't as big as they look, but maybe a few bigger plays than I would like. But we're getting pressure. The takeaways is something else. I mean, when's the last time we had a great linebacking core? I mean, you've been a Bengals fan forever, so like how we just been sitting there like, man, we give up so much to tight ends, our linebackers suck. And, Kittle did smoke us, albeit a lot of that was garbage time, like I said, but they getting, just awesome reads, getting interceptions. That one by Pratt, man, where he got his left hand up and tipped it and right to himself. I don't know. That was something else.
Great play. Yeah.
Logan's always around the football. So
underrated duo.
Oh God, for real. We got them for the cheap and we've got them for a while. So I love that, so to have
Me
that
too.
feels great as a Bengals fan. So anyway, last thing I wanted to say is the offensive line. They have a great D line, the 49ers. I don't care what anybody says. They got an elite guy. So they got a Nick Bosa, which we've had trouble with these defensive lines that have that elite guy. And they're not just him. Then where you double him up and, don't let him wreck the game. They got guys in the middle, and
Hargrave and Eric Armstead. Yeah, they was there. Yeah, they was healthy. They wasn't hurt.
Yeah, but the offensive line did a great job of not letting them wreck the game. They got a few sacks. They're going to get a few. And some of that is Burrow, just wait and let something happen. And you can take a sack in the right situation, trying to let something happen. It's not always a bad thing to get sacked necessarily. There wasn't those like drive ending type sacks too much. So
yeah.
And they're good. They Bosa's like he got paid out the ass. So, they're gonna get theirs, once in a while. But by and large, we really did a good job. So you give Joe Burrow some time and he's mobile and can make things happen. I don't know. Sky's the limit. So now we'll get on to this Bills matchup. So what y'all thinking for this? Galladay, what you got, man?
Man, I'm anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to put the talks to rest about we not back. We the same old bang. I'm tired of hearing that because I be watching these shows about they be talking about us. So if we beat these Bills, man, we officially back. Well, we already know that as Bengals fans, but I feel like we can get on that roll like we did the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and we'd be tough to beat. It's just that simple. They scared of us.
Oh yeah. I mean, we might be like the scariest team, even if we end up being a wild card or something. I don't think nobody wants to play us because at any given day, we've shown what we can do to teams. So, maybe there's better teams, more complete teams, more whatever teams, but and that has yet to be determined. If we go on a run here, everybody keeps saying that, let's throw the division out the window. The Ravens got that unlocked. And truth be told, they look like a tough to beat team, man. They might be my number 1 seed, like the Chiefs. They got the record, but they just look vulnerable to me. You know what I mean? And even when Patrick Mahomes does Patrick Mahomes things, all his receivers seem to have bricks for hands and, they just, they're winning and their defense is actually doing really good. Young, cheap defense is doing pretty good, but I don't know. It just they feel beatable, man. And the Ravens, they're really complete. They are really good. And it's, but AFC North football, man, you never know who's going to win those. So,
or even just in football, I mean, weren't they saying the same thing about San Francisco just a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And
week 5, they were the unbeatable team. Nobody was stopping them. They lost 2 in a row that were close, but then we just kind of slapped that ass a little bit, So
exactly.
Yeah, we go on they're saying, like I said, that the division is out of reach, but we go on a run, say we come to that Ravens game, we win tonight, beat Houston and then show up at that Ravens game and then beat them. Now what? Are we saying that it's out of reach? Because then now we're, assuming the Ravens also don't lose up to that point. Now we match them in the loss column.
Yep.
It's there, and it's going to be tough. I looked at the Ravens schedule, and then compared to us, it's soft. But if we can win out up through that Ravens game, that'll be the majority of our toughest games. We'll still have the Chiefs. We'll still have the Steelers twice. Those are always tough. The Browns, I don't know what it is. We can't seem to win against that team.
There's also the Jaguars.
And the Jaguars are in that mix, who's playing really well. Defense, evidently, I have not looked at what they're doing, but evidently looks pretty good. So we got a lot of tough teams to beat in there, but we can just get to the playoffs. We'll be battle proven, So, but more specifically this game, we're kind of talking like big picture here. So how you feel with this Bills team?
I mean, I feel like we've shown we can beat them. I know there's one game we didn't play, but the way that game started, I feel like that's how the divisional game kind of went. That's what I think that first Monday night game would have looked like. And I mean, we have to go out there and play the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't look kind of similar to the divisional game. I just, they haven't been looking great, not like, bad.
Or uneven. Yeah. They've been
kind of
for every great game they've had, they've kind of had a down game.
They're very up and down.
And they're winning, but
so if we play like we played last week, if we're getting on our hot streak like we do after the bye and the way we played them last time, I don't know. I think it might be kind of a game in our favor. At least the way I think it might happen.
I agree with all that. What about you, Calladay?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah. I feel like, honestly, we got the Bills number. I feel like Josh Allen just can't.
Have had at least a little bit with the Chiefs.
Well, it's just a great matchup for us, especially right now. Now Allen, when he's on his game, is a scary quarterback. I'm not going to lie.
But for sure.
The thing about him is he's very uneven. What type of game are you going to get? And if there's any off or defensive coordinator that's great at making quarterbacks think and double think about what they're doing, it's Lou, to throw them off their game. I mean, Brock Purdy has been kind of flawless for the most part. I mean, the last couple games prior to us, he was not at his best, but he did really good job of throwing him off of what he was thinking he was seeing and what he was doing. And that Logan Wilson, I think he thought he saw something totally different, and then Logan pulled back. I don't know if he thought he was coming or what, but he took that space that he was throwing to, and Lou's is good at that. So, and then they got Stephon Diggs, who's scary, but Gabe Davis, I mean, he's fine, but who do they got that's scary, but offensively, okay, we can go blow to blow for them. They're high octane. We're high octane when we're at our best. But I think the key comes down to defense.
I think their defense is kind of beat up.
Yeah, their defensive line is fine. Now, if Von Miller comes back to form, that could be that thing that changes the tide of the game, right? Because their defensive line is fine, but he's that elite guy. He's just not played elite this year. So their defensive line is fine. So that means we might have a little bit of time to throw. And their secondary, they've lost some people.
I've also heard that I think it's their run defense. I think a lot of people are wondering if maybe Mixon he was starting to kind of heat up.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how their run defense was,
I think I've heard they might be a little beat up.
If we could at least be balanced, we don't need to have a game where we lean on him, but we just need to have, like, if we have a game where it's balanced and we can have an efficient 5.5 yards of carry and him get 80 yards. That's
huge. Yeah.
That's the type of game we need from him, just nice and efficient and keep him honest. And with their secondary beat up, I mean, we got matchups all over the field that can win. So
just about execution, I think we should win if we execute the way we did last week or the way we know we can. I think we win.
And it's kind of crazy. I think the biggest odds basically have the Bills as the better team. Like, we're winning like 2 or 2.5. Usually when it's 3 to 3.5, it's kind of like a toss-up game, and they just give the edge to the home team. But I think they had us at 2.5, which kind of implies that the Bills.
I've it down to 1.5.
Okay, yeah. So they're saying the Bills are the better team, and we're getting a very, very slight edge due to being the home team. If Joe Burrow's back and these things play out the way I think that they can, I don't know, man.
And he tends to come up. I don't know. I feel like he can shine really bright in these big games.
This team is clutch. And I got my wife
yeah.
is watching the Cowboys game, and they're getting in a scrum, and it's awesome. Yeah. Football fan here.
This makes
So
me think
shout out
of
to the
some of
Cowboys.
some of the AFC
Oh man, they're losing now 28-17. So there's
Fourth and
time.
one.
Yeah, they were. Dang it. Yeah, these two teams hate each other. It's like
Kinda
us playing the
reminds me of with
Steelers or Ravens.
Yeah.
Mm,
With some of those games we had where
Yeah.
someone's getting beat up.
mm.
Shut up, man. They gave him that last touchdown.
Oh man. Hey, it's content, man. It's content. My 2 watchers, 3. I think it's just us anyway. This is
Don't
just
you
for
have
us.
to get
Right?
some more people to watch?
There's a few people that are subscribed. I don't care. This is for us. It's we've been chronicling these games before everybody knew we were going to be cool. I
You
felt it in
also
my bones.
said it in
And
that
I'm like,
first video you made.
And you were on board the train, man. I'm like, the choo-choo train's coming, man. So
You were there from the
and Super Bowl run it was. So
Yes, sir.
but
Yeah.
but yeah, to wrap this up, I guess I think we match up super well. We're at home. Joe Burrow does that Rodgers thing with that hard count. He's able to with his brains fool him, make him jump and do things like that. So we got that advantage. If he's mobile and Von Miller doesn't turn into like freaking 5 year ago Von Miller, and somehow wreck the game, we got a great shot at this. It's about as must win as you can get, man, because nobody's separated in the AFC, but due to that, everybody's got like pretty good records, and if we keep falling back,
And the whole North won this week. The Steelers
Yeah,
won on
yeah.
Thursday. The Browns
the
won.
AFC North is just the toughest in football, as it always kind of has been, but this year's really showing its stripes. And we just can't really afford any losses, man.
Yeah.
The AFC's up for grabs, but that means that like everybody has to keep winning for the most part. It'd almost be better if like a couple teams would just go and separate themselves, and the other teams are kind of like low-hanging fruit, but everybody's kind of like high fruit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, they're all kind of
So-
up there.
Yeah, so
I think it's possible all 4 of us make the playoffs.
it could be a weird scenario. Honestly, I think the Bills are is the wild card right now, and if we beat
But
them,
the 3 of the AFC North, we're right there on the outside looking in. But the Ravens are in the division, and then the Browns and the Steelers are
Browns,
2 of
Steelers,
the-
and Bills are in the wild card right
and
now.
we're right there at the edge.
So if we win, I think maybe we flip-flop the Bills,
And
And
so
then
all 4.
Steelers, Bill, or Steelers, us, Browns as wild cards.
Can you imagine that being the playoffs? Is that the
mean,
entire AFC
it's
North
nuts.
is
Quite often happens where 2 AFC North teams are
there?
in the
But
playoffs.
imagine all 4 of them.
And then recently we've had 3 teams in. So what other division is really, the Chiefs
That's
are a great
true.
team, but their division is just cream puff in comparison, so that adds to their advantage. I don't want to like give them any discredit, it's like as much as we're at war with them, they are a great team. They're coached really well, but that just makes their path that much easier, so on that same token, I think us just getting to the playoffs, we're battle tested. We've, proved a lot. We've beaten a lot of great teams, and that just puts you at your best by the time it matters.
Mhm.
And this team has a clutch gene,
Yes, sir.
the top down, all the stars have a clutch gene. So I think we're going to see that clutch gene tonight. I think they're going to like grab this game and run with it. And I think it's a 2-score win, not like 14 points. I think it might be like a 10-point
10.
win, but I could see something like a 24-34. Something
I
like
see the
that.
same. I see the same.
Maybe like they get like 17.
I could even see that. I
And
could
I'm
see
not
this defense
surprised,
holding
but-
them below 20.
And then
you
maybe
know,
we're like, I don't know,
27,
27,
31.
27-17. Maybe that's my guess. I don't
Okay.
know.
I could see that.
I like that. Yeah, I like that score.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long, man. So, we got some believers. We've built up a little bit of equity the past couple years, but there's still some people that are not.
A lot
You
of
know, they're like,
naysayers.
oh, are they really back? And they fell too far behind. And
Yes.
don't let us sit back up, man. Kyle Brandt on the
I
morning.
like Kyle Brent. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what he was kind of saying. This is just before Halloween, and he kind of said, "Is like you should have kept them down. They were down and out. You should have kept them down." He said the Bengals are like Michael Myers when they're like beating the shit out of them, and then he just sits straight up with the goddamn knife, and it's like we're back now. You know, that's what it was like in that game, just sitting straight up with the knife. You know, like we're back. You didn't kill us. You know,
Hmm.
you knocked us down a little bit, but you know, here we are. But we still got to prove it. You know, one game doesn't prove anything, although that gives a great hint as
Very
to what we can
promising.
do. Very promising. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. So, we'll give this a last 2-day and get out of here and get ready to go watch a game here in a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
2-day.
Today.
Who dey?